Hey, good morning, friends. Mark Holmes here, and happy game day. Oh, man. I got to tell you, I love this thing right here. This thing has an automatic temperature gauge. I know purists out there will say, you barbecue with gas. I know. But you see the smoke, don't you? It's got the pan over top of the flame there that I put my oat chips in there, as well as my apple chips. Then I got apple cider in for the wash. And look at that. 1, 2, 3. Not even half full with this sucker. We're going to be ready to rock and roll when we go to FedEx Field. I might just do like 6 pork shoulders for that pulled barbecue. I have literally almost 150 people who are interested in going to tailgate. 150. Over 40 that have said that they're definitely going to be there. I have somebody as far as Minnesota and Alaska talking about showing up for that tailgate. So we're going to have a ball. But we're not going to worry about 2 weeks from today. Today we got to worry about the Texans. And we need to win. It's the Battle of Texas, but it's also for the Texans' survival. Now I'll meet you downstairs in the man cave. Before I do that, let's just take, I got the window here. I love the window. But still, the window doesn't quite do it justice. Let's just take a quick peek. We're at 155 degrees internal temperature. Quick peek. Look at that. Ooh. About 6, 7 more hours. Nothing I love better than game day, guys. And sadly, there's not enough of them. The pork shoulders are cooking and they're going to be great. And there's nothing more fun than having the gang over together, watching the game, winning and losing, living and dying. It's what football is all about. Football is family. Now let's get open for business down here as we get ready to take on the Texans. Oh, boy. Our offense showed a little bit of life last week. Showed us they can at least go downfield. Wide receivers caught a few passes and things. But let's go to the playmaker, because he has a little motivational speech for the receivers.
I got a beef with some people, and I have to speak directly to these people here. And I'm talking to Dallas Cowboys, and specifically the Dallas Cowboys receiver. Really? I am so happy you won the last game. That's all great and dandy. But understand what you did. You sat there and you let this man run for 150 yards rushing. And then when it's time to win a game, they take him out of the backfield and line him in the slot.
What's wrong with that, Irv?
Go down the field.
What's wrong with that, Irv?
I'll tell you
what's wrong with that, Irv?
I'll tell you.
There's nothing wrong with that, Irv.
Where is the heart of those wide receivers? How do you lay head to pillow at night and get up in the morning and put toothbrush to tooth and see that fella in the mirror when your job is to make a play catching a pass? Come on, man. Go in there and talk to your coach and say, give me the chance to make that play. I got a problem with that. We got 12 games left, man. Get it done. Get it done.
Wow. So he's put the wide receivers on blast. He's like, you got to man the F up. You got to come to play. Don't be putting it all off on the running back. You got to take the initiative, and you got to come out there and make the plays. Well, it's kind of hard to argue with the guy that's got 3 rings in the Hall of Fame. He's challenging them and calling them out. So here's what we got today. We've got the Texans, and when you look at J.J. Watt, the return of the man, 5 sacks, 4 forced fumbles, comeback player of the year, possibly defensive player of the year on one side, and you got Clowney on the other side, another great comeback story because he had that microfracture knee surgery, which not too many people come back from the same as they were on the other side. And you look at that run-stopping defense that's 9th, giving up only 3.5 yards per carry. You start saying, those numbers jump out at you. It's going to be a hard day for Zeke Elliott. But remember, I always tell you that situations dictate those numbers as well. Understand, you have to look at the teams that they play. Are we talking they were playing run-heavy teams? Were they playing teams with great offensive lines? Or were they playing teams that pass the ball a lot? Because on the flip side of that, they're like the opposite image of the Detroit Lions. The Detroit Lions had the number one pass defense, but couldn't stop the run to save their life. Well, the Texans are better at stopping the run and not so good against the pass. They're 27th, giving up an average of 8.1 yards per pass play. So if there's any chance to think or opportunities, you look at this one and say, yeah, this will be a good week to see our wide receivers and Dak Prescott start really airing it out a lot more. And the other side of that is look at the competition. That defense has played New England. They lost 27-20, okay? And that's when New England, when everybody was saying maybe New England's lost it, when they started out 1-2. They have the Titans. The Titans have been winning games. Don't get me wrong, Titans are 3-1. 20 points, 20-17. And the Giants. They lost to the Giants. But worse than that, they let Eli Manning and that putrid Giants offense score 27 points. How does that happen? To the Giants. And again, look at their running attack. They gave up on that game 114 yards rushing. And then they've got the Colts. Colts beat them in overtime 37-34. So when you start looking at those offensive ranked teams, New England's tied 22nd with the Colts. The Titans are 26th, and the Giants are 25th in total offense. Yet, they've scored 20 to 37 points against them. So there's opportunities here, and I believe that actually we can still run the ball as well. I would love for our Cowboys to do some play action. I always want to see them do play action because they don't do enough of it. They do some play action. You get Zeke running downhill. You're going to have some big plays on that defense. So hopefully our offense can get there. Defensively wise, pressure is the name of the game. We'll have more later on this morning, but we're going to go to our pick segment and pick the games for today. Oh, man. Football Sunday. I love it. All right, it is week 5 already in the NFL. The season is literally flying by. There is not enough time for a season in my mind. But today's matchups, of course, we know that New England ended up beating the Colts. New England is back to being New England. So everybody who said that Bill Belichick is destroying the team, Tom Brady's past time to retire, yeah, okay. We hear that every year it seems. Of course, our Cowboys are taking on the Texans. We've already talked about that. I hope and pray that our Cowboys get a win. I think we've got opportunities and a good opportunity to definitely take a step ahead in the right direction. But as we look around the NFC East, everybody's got a tough game. We've got the New York stinking Giants going to Carolina. I believe the New York Giants are a team about to implode. You've got Eli Manning just not quite doing it. They should have drafted a quarterback, I believe. But there is good news. They are so pathetic, they'll probably be behind the draft and have the opportunity to do it this year coming up. Of course, we have the Vikings going to the Eagles. The Vikings might be looking for payback from last year as well as their own survival. Never underestimate a team that is desperate to win. They do not want to lose another game with only one victory in the season. After all the money they spent on Kirk Cousins, yeah, it's almost time to pay it for them. And we have the Redskins who've been feeling themselves this week because literally they took the lead in the division without playing. So they're excited, they're feeling good, they're thinking that this is the old Redskins. But I got a question for those Redskins. How do you get hurt in your off week? Santana Dotson, who is #1 pick for them, who never quite made it, got kicked in the heel and missed practice all week. Yeah, I'm going to take New Orleans in the Mercedes Dome. New Orleans is just that tough. Now again, I don't know that I picked the Vikings on that one or not, but I'm going to pick the Eagles at home because I picked them last week and they lost. So maybe that's a trend that I can be bad luck with it. We've got Denver, of course, going to the Jets. The Jets are off. I'll take Denver. We've got the bad man, Aaron Rodgers, who is still bothered by that knee, did practice some this week, going against the Lions. I'll take Green Bay. The Doo-Doo Browns against the Ravens. The Ravens, all of a sudden, Joe Flacco looks like a real quarterback again. I'll take the Ravens at home. Falcons Steelers, another game where we're talking about desperation really for both teams. Falcons really could use another win with only one on the season. The Steelers, they're another team that looks like they're in turmoil, that they definitely are about to explode. But I think they get a win against the Falcons. The Jaguars against Kansas City, this is going to be a great game. It's hard to bet against Kansas City at home at Arrowhead. The Dolphins, who are the Dolphins that we thought they were, got shellacked last week by New England against the Bengals. I'm going to take the Bengals at home. The Raiders, oh Lord, really, John Gruden, boy, I'm glad we dodged that bullet. I went on record saying I wanted him for the coach of the Cowboys. I'm glad that didn't happen. I'll take the Chargers. Tampa Bay against the Bears. Tampa Bay, they're back to being who we thought they were, and they stink. So I'm going to take the Bears with Khalil Mack, who's a one-man wrecking crew. We got the Rams against the Seahawks. We're going to take the Rams, who I think might be peaking too early. Number one offense, great defense. In Seattle, good, but not quite that good. And then, of course, the Cardinals against the 49ers. Two bad teams against each other. I'll take the 49ers. And that's what we have for this week, guys. I got some cleaning up to do down here in the man cave to get ready for the day. Got to check on that barbecue and get a pot of chili going. I'm Mark Holmes, and as always, thank you guys for being part of the Jobu Sports Report. Hope you have a great game day.